Hello and welcome to the 6th video of my Java MTA course. Do remember this is the 6th part and we're focusing on OOP in this one. Today we're going to be focusing on inheritance, and as you might be aware, the way I do it is I quickly go over the key points that you must remember for the exam, and then I throw some questions at you to try and cement that knowledge and expand on it. So let's get started. Okay, so the key points that you must remember from the MTA exam. Inheritance is when you have one class and you give its properties and methods to another class. So an example of this is if you create a class and you call that class fish. So remember, it's not creating the instance, but you're building the class. This class is called a superclass, and that class might have properties and methods. What you can then do is you can extend those properties and methods to a new class. Again, this is not an instance, this is a class. So you can build a new class where you can create instances, and that new class will have the same properties and methods of the superclass. And you can do this multiple times. So you could have a fish class that could extend its properties and methods to the goldfish class, and you can have the fish class extending its properties and methods to the tuna subclass. To inherit from the superclass, we need to use the word extends. So this is what it'll look like. So you've created this superclass, so this is just like a normal class, and then you create the subclass, and again you have to use that keyword extends and then name the superclass that you're going to use. And do remember that this means that this subclass has taken all of the properties here and has taken the methods from that superclass. Additionally, it's important to know that in Java, so in this class here, even though we've not created a constructor, the compiler creates one for us. However, these constructors are not inherited. So if you have a constructor in your superclass that has a lot of parameters, you must create an additional empty constructor in the superclass. Otherwise, it won't be able to compile. So that is important. So I've thrown a lot of information at you. Again, I'm going to give you some questions to try and help you understand the information and cement it. So let's get on to the questions. Okay, so here is the code and some questions. So if we look here at the code, we have two classes, one class here, one class here, and then this is our app class that we'll use to start the code, and it has the main method. So this is where the code will start, but these are where the classes are created. So using this code, can you answer the questions? So hopefully you've paused the video. Let's go through some of the answers. So what is the error in the code? Well, we can see there's an error here. And this is because we're going to try and create this class, but we're going to be extending the properties and methods from the superclass. So what that means is it goes up here and it creates an instance of this and then puts it into the goldfish class. However, if we look here in the superclass, this is a constructor. This means this is automatically called when we try and create an instance of this class. However, when we're doing it from the extended keyword, we're not actually adding any arguments. So there would be an error here because we aren't able to use this constructor. This means that what we'll have to do is we'll have to add a new constructor that has no parameters or that has no arguments. So if we add a new one, and then we can use overloading to also have the previous one in the video or the previous one in the picture. So we can have two constructors. One constructor with no arguments and no code, and this will allow us to create a subclass instance and extend the superclass methods and properties. So what is the name of the superclass? Well, the name of the superclass is fish. The name of the subclass is goldfish. So if we correct the errors, in this code by adding a new constructor that's empty, what will be outputted? So if we have a look, we've created the instance of the subclass. We're going to go there. So remember, if we look at the swim, we don't have a method here that does it. However, we have a method in the parent subclass, or the parent superclass, or the superclass, sorry. So we can use that method. So the output for this one will be, I like to swim. Then in this one, again, it's the same thing. It goes up here, and it goes up to the superclass, and it goes and collects that data. However, if we remember, we haven't actually done a constructor that sets this data. So this has not happened when we've extended our fish. So this will print out null because there's nothing actually set into this value. So it'll still print, but it'll print null. And the last one, Fred eat, well, this goes and it uses the subclasses method eats. So it will just print I eat goldfish food. So we have I like to swim. This second one will print null, and the third one will print I eat goldfish food. So we've finished the video now. I think it would be a good idea to check your knowledge. So if you are able to tell me what the keyword is to make a subclass, I think that's a good start. If you are able to explain why you would use inheritance, I think that would be great, and I think that would be enough to get through to your MTA exams. However, if you can explain why you would need to make an empty constructor in the superclass, I think that's why you should be at. So if you can answer that question, please leave a comment. If you enjoyed the video, please like it, and if you want to know more about my videos and help pass your MTA exam, please subscribe to my channel. So thank you very much, and see you in the next video.